What's up, C3 Youth? Sarah here. Are you guys excited for youth tonight? If so, make sure you drop a shout out in the chat feature to the right of your screen. Tonight is going to be awesome, but before we jump in, here are a few quick announcements. First, we are so pumped that summer is almost here and camp is right around the corner. Due to the coronavirus, camp has been moved to July 20th through the 25th. There is still time to register, so if you have not already signed up, please make sure that you go on OIM's website or have your parents click the link in the parent email. This will be a week you will never forget. Next, hopefully you have taken advantage of the incredible serving opportunity we have had this week. If not, there is still time. Tomorrow from 3 to 6 p.m. at our Canal campus, you can help by passing out our Mother's Day gift bags. If you're interested in serving, we would love to see you there. Now I'm going to turn it over to Pastor Anthony as he kicks off week 1 of our competition.
Well, thanks, Sarah. I appreciate the introduction. Man, I'm so excited to kick off week 1 of our competition all month long called Mayhem. It is going to be absolutely incredible. I'm so excited. But before we get into our first game competition, want to give you a little run through of what it's going to be like this week and the rest of the month of May. And we're going to be doing this month-long competition and we're going to be battling it out, and we're going to have 4 teams. And so pay attention here real quick. I'm going to let you know what those 4 teams are if you missed it last week. We're going to be doing junior high boys versus junior high girls versus senior high boys versus senior high girls. All of you are going to be battling out this month, and here's the prize. It's an incredible one. A free Chipotle party for your whole team when we go back live on Wednesday nights. And so that means when we're live, you're gonna come back and you're gonna have a whole Chipotle party. Doesn't matter what you want, you can order whatever. It's going to be crazy. But here's the thing, there's a couple key things you need to know. You're gonna be able to earn the most points live here on Wednesday nights in the month of May. So it's crucial that you text all of your friends, text all of your leaders, get them on live on Wednesday nights, because you're gonna be able to earn the most points here during service. We will have some things on our social media platforms, some challenges to earn some little bit of points here and there, but it's important that you are live. In fact, right now, before we go into game 1, text your friends right now, send them the link. Leaders, get your group chat going, remind them to get on if they're not on, because we're gonna head into round 1 right now. We got an incredible game plan. You guys ready? All right, you guys need to get your chats ready for this one, because we are gonna be playing a game called Who Said It, and give you a little rundown of what this game is. It's gonna be funny, it's gonna be hilarious, but you have to pay attention. And so I'm gonna say a quote, and then I'm gonna tell you or ask you to say, who do you think said it in the chat? Now, to make it a little easier, because we're gonna start off easy week 1 and we're gonna build the competition up as we go, I'm gonna give you 2 names of potential people that said this quote. Now, when you know or you think you know what it is, you need to type that name in the chat along with the grade that you are in. And my beautiful wife's gonna go and tally up all the points, and next week I'm gonna give you an update on the standings. So an example of this game would be like this. The quote is, "Let it go, let it go." Who said it? Anna or Elsa? Now, I know that was an incredible voice. I know you want to hear more, but I'm just going to hold that for some special moments. But so what you would do now is it would obviously Elsa sang that song. So you would type in the chat, Elsa 6th grade, Elsa 12th grade, Elsa 10th grade, and that's how this game's going to go. Now the quotes that we have are going to be a little bit harder, so we're going to get right for this. We're going to get right into this. And so you guys ready for the first quote? You guys ready? Get your chats ready. Here we go. The first quote is this: "I sang in the car in LA all the time because it is like a soundproof room." Now that's hilarious. I don't know about you, but I sing all the time in the car because I don't want anybody to hear me, because man, my voice stinks, I'll admit. Who said it? Kevin Hart or Jimmy Fallon? Let me say it again. I sing in the car in LA because it's like a soundproof room. Who said it? Get to the chat right now. Kevin Hart or Jimmy Fallon? Make sure you put your grade there. Give you a couple more seconds before we head to the second one. Come on, who do you think? Even if you have to guess. Awesome. Okay, hey, we're gonna head to the second one. At the end, I'm gonna give you the answers to these, because I don't want anybody cheating and waiting for it till I give the answer. And so by the time I give the answers, you have to have your answer in. The second one is this. This is my favorite one. Oh my gosh, I just caught a rare Pikachu. Now who said it? Was it me? your favorite youth pastor, or my beautiful wife, Hannah? Who said it? Now, I'll tell you this, there's a funny story behind this. Whoever said this was driving in the car while they were trying to catch this Pokemon. Who said it? Remember, go to the chat, put your grade next to the chat. A couple more seconds here before we go to the last one. Awesome. Okay, we're going to go to the last one here. All right, I got to give a background story to this because this is a couple leader from our youth ministry, Tiffany and Aaron Castle. Now, to give a little bit of background on this story, they were driving together and they saw this building and the sign said taxidermist and it had animal pictures in the middle. And if you're sitting here asking, what's a taxidermist? Great question. Well, it is someone that actually stuffs animals to preserve them. Weird, I know some of you might be like, that's not okay, I get it. But this was the quote from that. They saw this taxidermist sign and this person said this quote, "Oh, that looks like a nice place to get your taxes done." Bro, when I heard that, I was dying because that is not what a taxidermist does at all. Who do you think said it? Aaron Castle or Tiffany Castle? Head to the chat right now, type in your answer, make sure you're putting your grade with it. Give you a couple more seconds before I give the answers. Awesome. All right, you guys ready for the answers? Here's the first one. Who said that they liked to sing in their car in LA because it was soundproof? If you said Jimmy Fallon, you were correct and you got your team some points. Congratulations. The next one is, oh my gosh, I caught a rare pair Pikachu. It was incredible. And that quote was, yes, obviously me. I was driving, putting my wife at risk, playing Pokemon Go when it was in, and we almost got into a car accident, but I caught a rare Pikachu. It was awesome. I remember the day like it was yesterday. All right, the last one, the funny one. Who thought that a taxidermist was a place where you get your taxes done? If you said Aaron Castle, you were correct, and I have to admit, Aaron, so you don't get made fun of too much, I was writing this script in my head of what I was gonna say, and I thought it was a tax place too. My wife said, what do you think a taxidermist is? I was like, a place where you get your taxes done. So I am officially a fool too. I had no idea what a taxidermist was. So Aaron, you're not the only one. I feel your pain, but hey, I hope you enjoyed week 1 of our Mayhem competition. This is just the beginning. I know that was maybe easy, but we're just gonna build up the difficulty. We're gonna build up the competition as we go, but it's super important. Again, let me remind you one more time that you tell your friends, groups get together, be online on Wednesday because you're gonna be able to earn the most points. Guys, I hope you enjoyed week 1 of it, but hey, we're gonna head to the message here in a few quick seconds, so I'll see you in a couple of seconds. Hey students, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed that game. I'm just so excited to be doing this competition with you all month long, and man, I can't wait to see who wins our Chipotle party. But man, I'm excited to dive deep into this message. This series is going to be called, just like our competition, Mayhem, and we're going to be talking about some hot topics that we're dealing with in society, maybe you're dealing with as a student, and we're going to dive right into those topics all month long, and I can't wait for it. But I wanted to start off with a special one this week, and it's more of like a challenge maybe than it is a hot topic. And you know, the last month and a half has been an absolute incredible month for our student ministry. Yes, things have been crazy. It's been a difficult, unique season with the coronavirus, and man, we just have been caught off guard. You know, maybe you're at home and life hasn't been the same and you've had to go through some difficulties. I know seniors, you know, your senior year got cut short. You know, other students, maybe you're navigating what it's like not being able to see your friends every day, not being able to get out of the house, being stuck and just feeling locked in and not being able to do anything. And, you know, we've been navigating this season, but as a youth ministry, we've been able to connect every Wednesday night live here on YouTube. It's been incredible. We've been able to do small groups through Zoom. We've been able to do so many different things that's been able to keep this movement that we've been challenging you to keep and to keep moving forward in your relationship with God. And something like the coronavirus and this pandemic doesn't need to prevent us stopping forward and And really the last month and a half, we've talked about some incredible topics. And if you remember the beginning of all this, we talked about some topics that really could be affecting us in this season. We talked about things like depression, anxiety, fear. We talked about these things and how maybe in this season, it has affected you in a different way. Maybe these emotions, these feelings of what we just talked about are heightened in your life, or let's be honest, maybe you're experiencing them for the first time. But see, the reality is we told, hey, when we have a relationship with Jesus, when we choose Jesus, Jesus has given us victory over these things. Yes, we have to pursue that victory. We have to accept that victory. But man, depression, anxiety, fear, they don't have to have the ability to rule over us. But the reality is we learned that an enemy wants to come in and he wants to pound those things in your brain and he wants to get you to believe those things, because if in this season we believe those things, man, we're not going to be effective. We're not going to use our influence the right way. Most importantly, we're not going to be able to do the things that Jesus has put inside of us to do in this season of uncertainty, of the coronavirus, of the pandemic. And we talked about these things, and we gave you tools, and we walked through about, hey, how can you fight these things? And then this last month, we went through this incredible series called Dreams or Schemes, and I'm not going to recap it, but we talked about Joseph, and really ultimately the goal of this was saying, hey, in the midst of everything that's going on, we can still be dreamers. We can still be a student ministry. We still can be students that say, hey, even in this series where I feel like my hands are tied behind my back, I can't do anything, there is still opportunity for me to dream. There's still opportunity for me to pursue the calling God's placed on my life, to pursue and use the gifts that God has given me. And we talked about, hey, it might not be like it used to 2 months ago, but hey, we might just have to be innovative. We might have to think of different ways that we can do that we can utilize our gifts, our talents, our influence. And ultimately, students, that's what dreamers are. They find these ways in moments where it doesn't look like anything can happen. The door's been shut. No, they take a step back and I'm going to dream past this. I'm going to partner with God. I'm going to partner with my friends. I'm going to partner with the student ministry. And man, we're going to find ways to continue to influence in this season. And see, that's what I want to talk about tonight, students. It's not going to be a long message. It's probably going to be my shortest one since being live on YouTube. But here is what I want this message to be about tonight is it's one thing to talk about these things. It's another thing to put these things into action. See, what I've learned in my walk with God, what I learned when I was a student, is sometimes it's easy to talk the talk. It's easy to say, I don't want depression to hinder me. I don't want anxiety to control me. I don't want fear to hinder what I have. Or let's go to dreamers. Man, I want to be a dreamer. Who doesn't want to be a dreamer? I want to do these things. I want to be an influencer for Jesus. I want to make a difference. And we can get caught in this belief and just this cycle of, man, it sometimes can be easy to talk the talk, but man, when that talk has the ability to turn into action, sometimes it can be a little bit more difficult. Different fears, different anxieties, different thoughts and emotions start to come over us because, yeah, it's one thing to talk it. It's another thing to do it. And that's what I want to challenge you tonight, students, is I want to turn in what we've talked about the last month and a half and turn it into action as we continue to move forward. This pandemic, this virus, it doesn't have to limit the impact that we have. It doesn't have to limit the influence that we have. Like I said, it might look differently, but if we partner together, if we think, if we become innovative, we'll be able to find ways to still be able to do the things that God is calling us to do in this season. Again, they might look different, but we still can do it. And we actually see, I'm going to read 2 passages real quick, and I really believe these 2 passages speak to this and give us a clear example of what Jesus is even expecting, or even, hey, once we've talked the talk, we have to walk the walk. And the first passages, and both of them are actually in James, but the first one is James 2:14 through 17, and I want you to listen to this because I want you to hear what this passage is saying. And it says this: what good is it, dear brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith, but don't show it in your actions? Can that kind of faith save anyone? Suppose you see a brother or sister who has no food or clothing, and you say, goodbye and have a good day, stay warm and eat well. But then you don't give that person any food or any clothing. What good does that do? See, faith by itself isn't enough. Unless it produces good deeds, it is dead and useless. Ultimately, what this saying is yes, what I'm not saying is that faith is bad. Yes, we want to have faith. We want to believe in God. We've talked about this. Man, I remember being a student. Sometimes it can be weird and awkward thinking about, man, I'm praying to someone I can't even see. I'm praying to someone that I can't have an actual conversation with. I'm believing in someone that I have to put my faith in to believe in. And that is incredible faith, but there comes a point, I believe, in our walk with Jesus where, man, we have to use that faith to influence others, to help other people recognize that they have a Savior that died on the cross for them and wants to have a relationship with them. See, the reality is if we hold our faith and we're willing to talk, we're willing to say, yes, I love Jesus. I have a relationship with Jesus. I want to do things for Jesus. But when rubber hits the road and we have the opportunity to do that and we don't, what type of faith is that? What type of relationship do we have if we're not willing to do what it is that we need to do? And this leads me to my first point, and it's this. Faith isn't just a word. It's also a verb. And this is important to understand. It's not just something you have, it's something that you do as well. And I was just thinking of some things of how to give you some examples. And maybe you're sitting here and you know deep and down inside of you, you want to be someone that is encouraging, that you want to be someone that gives encouragement in this season, but you're afraid of what people are going to think. Maybe it's just you taking a step back and saying, I have to put this into action. And it's waking up every morning and saying, hey, today I'm going to text 3 people and give them a word of encouragement. Yeah, maybe for you before this, it was doing it in person. It was walking through the halls of your schools. It was waking up in the morning to your family, and you were able face to face to give that. And that's where you felt comfortable. And now that that's taken away, you don't know how to, but maybe it's just putting things like that in place and saying, hey, each week I'm going to set a goal of 5 people that I'm going to reach out to and encourage. Hey, maybe it's like what we've been encouraging you on social media yesterday. Today we had it. Tomorrow, if you still want to, there's still that opportunity, but to serve. You know, yes, we can't get in big group gatherings, but we can have a couple of you in, wearing some masks, wearing some gloves, and helping pass out Mother's Day bags that we're doing this week for our mothers at C3. And you could come in and be a part of that and serve. And maybe it's something like you saw Pastor Konan talk about this past week is, you know, us as a church, we're helping support local food banks in our community. And Pastor Konan sent out this audacious goal and in belief that, hey, we're going to raise $25,000 this week, and we're going to support this local food bank. We're believing for $12,500 from our people, and we're gonna match that with $12,500 from as a church from C3 Church, and we're gonna navigate this. But here's my question. Here's my challenge. Why do we have to limit it at $25,000? That's our goal, but who's to say with people from C3 Church, us as a student ministry, the kids ministry, that we can't surpass that goal even? And see, here's the reality. That $1 that you might choose to give, Pastor Konan was saying, that actually relates to $6 to the food bank. And so if you give $1, you're actually giving $6 and you're helping fulfill a need in the community during this time. See, just because maybe before this pandemic, before the coronavirus, you were used to one thing and you can't do that anymore, doesn't mean there still isn't an opportunity for you to put your faith into action. And I want to encourage you and remind you that faith is not just a word, it is also a verb. And this leads me to my last passage that I want to go over with you, and I'm going to kind of land the plane here, and is James 1:23 through 25. And I really, really want you to listen to the words of this passage, because I believe as students, even young adults, leaders that are watching, I think we can relate to this passage a little bit, but I really want you to allow this to hit home. And it says this: "For if you listen to the word and don't obey it. It is like glancing at your face in a mirror. You see yourself, walk away, and forget what you look like. But if you look carefully into the perfect law, the Word of God, what God instructs us to, that sets you free, and if you do what it says and don't forget what you heard, then God will bless you for doing it. Not bless you for reading it, not bless you for contemplating it, not bless you for wondering about it. He will bless you for doing it. See, students, the reality is I could come on here live on YouTube every Wednesday night. We could go back Wednesday nights, and I could be on the platform speaking to you face to face, but at the end of the day, that's talk. And I believe that's important. I believe that teaching is good. I believe that it's important. And that's why I was called into youth ministry, is to believe, to help you set up to be able to go into this world, partner with Jesus, point everything back to Jesus. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's so that Jesus can find the glory. But my prayer is not that, I hope the students heard what I had to say. My prayer is when I get off the stage and I go home is that, yes, Jesus, I hope they heard what I had to say, what you had given me, but I hope that they take what they heard and they put it into action. And that's what leads me to my last point, and I say it every message, and this is what this message centers around, is that no student is called to insignificance. That is not something that we brought here, that God placed on my heart to say to you just so that you could feel better about yourself. That statement in there, for that to come true, it requires action. It requires students to come along and say, man, yes, I believe what Pastor Anthony has said in past messages. I believe that I'm a dreamer. I believe that anxiety, depression, and fear do not have victory over me. More importantly, I believe in Jesus. I believe in the power that comes with Jesus. I believe in the influence that Jesus can use within me to make a difference. That no student is called to insignificance. You have a choice. You have an opportunity. And that's my challenge. That's the kickoff, this Mayhem series of hot topics. And I know this might be, hey, coming right at you, but we're talking about hot topics. And that's why I became a student pastor, because I don't want to see my name glorified. I don't want to see, nothing glorified than Jesus' name. But most importantly, I want to see students recognize that it's not just a pastor that can do it. It's just not just mom and dad. It's not just an adult. It's not a college student. But that whether you're 12 or 18 or anywhere in between, you have that ability. You have that greatness in you. You have those dreams inside of you. You have that same Jesus I do. That same Jesus a Pastor Konan does. A same Jesus your parents have. That college student has. That same Jesus lives in you. And he's saying, I want to use you. Let's be innovative together in this season. Yeah, those ways you were used to using, they might not be working right now, but I can still use you in this season. You can still make a difference. You can turn that faith that maybe you thought was just a feeling or an emotion, and you can turn it into action. Man, that's what we want to be, and that's what is just the next step of keeping this movement alive and not allowing it to turn into a moment. Students, I love you. You are incredible, and I hope here that you take this into action. You partner in things like the food bank. You partner with us in serving to help things like that, or to help pass out Mother's Day bags. Whatever it might look like, take that faith and turn it into action. Partner it together. I love you. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you next week.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's message, and what a great reminder that we have to put action behind our words and go out and serve. Speaking of action, as a reminder, we have a great opportunity to partner with our local food banks to help those in need during this time. If this is something that you want to be a part of, head to our website at myc3church.com/giving where you can give today. Well, that's it for this week, and make sure you check out our Instagram page for more competition details and updates. See you all next week.
Dylan got it bumping. Hey.